Listen, I know we all excited about the new 50 series graphics cards that are coming out. I am also. I don't know what's going on when it comes with the DLSs and regenerated frames, right? So we're gonna just dive in to see what the performance are like with the 50 series versus the 40 series and basically the things that we need to see to actually want to buy this card. Let's get into it. So with this graph, right? It looks good. It looks good if you didn't know what you were looking for. It looks good if you're not reading the fine prints. It looks good just by staring at it and you're like, ooh, I have the money to buy a 50 series and I'm just gonna get it because it's supposed to perform better than the 40 series, right? So I'm not an expert per se when it comes to graphics cards and taking them apart and blah blah blah. I'm not that, right? But I do know the basics, a little bit more than the basics. I've built my own PCs and I've done my own research. And from the looks of things, right? I'm not an expert, like I said, but I do have opinions. From the looks of things, it looks like, let's take a look over here, Resident Evil 4, right? If you guys don't know, the green is for the 50 series and the gray is for the 40 series, like the 4090, the 4070, like all those type of cards, the 40 series in general. So if you don't know, DLSS 4 is out, okay? Ray tracing and regenerated frames, okay? Which is basically AI, right? So when you're talking that, you're talking AI replacing frames to give you higher frames essentially in your games, okay? To make it look like you're having higher frames. So the issue is, think of it like this. If you're having 60 frames and 4K, right? So let's just say you're playing the game 4K 60 frames, right? Now, if you turn on your DLSS 4 on your 50 series card, your frames are gonna boost way up to about 200, 250. Now, don't get me wrong, from the looks of things, by having those type of frames, it looks great, but it's not gonna feel great. That's the thing. Just because it's running at 200 and whatever frames, that's just makeup frames. That's not real frames. There's a difference between AI frames, which is regenerated frames, and real frames, right? So the reason why I'm kind of upset about this is because they're putting the 40 series card against the 50 cards, the 50 series card with AI regenerated frames, right? That's not even comparable because one of them is getting help and the other one is not, right? The other one is the workhorse. The other one is just the workhorse plus another workhorse right next to it that's pulling, that's helping. So it's not a real comparison. Okay. So before you guys start buying these expensive ass fucking cards, make sure to know that if you're not using the AI generated frames and DLSS 4, you're not going to be getting those numbers. You're not. Okay. You're just not. So just be mindful on what you're buying. But to my point, the 4090 is a great card. I have that in my game and PC as we're speaking at the moment. It's a great card. If you turn on the AI generated frames, like let's say for a person like me that play Call of Duty, okay? The problem is when you use those generated frames from the AI system that they got going on, it creates a lot of input lag. It adds on to your game a lot of lag. Okay, that's the issue. Your game may look great if you're just watching the fucking ocean. If you just, oh, I love this map and I just want to look around, the game will look great, but it will not play well. If you're playing any type of fast movement, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex, anything, GTA, anything that's fast moving, that's fast movement, moving, it's not going to play out well. You're going to create a lot of input lag. The game is not going to feel great. And you're going to be disappointed because you bought a 5090 that's $2,000 and you're like, shit. Right. So I think the 50 series is a great card. The design is a great card. The way it looks is a great card. It looks like a great card and is going to perform. But be mindful, your power supply need to go up also. You can't have no bummy ass power supply. You got at least, I would say, 1,000 to 1,200 for your power supply to be at for the 5090 to give you the full shebang. If you're thinking about putting a 750 in there, it's not gonna perform well. The thing is a blood sucking electricity beast. So make sure to have well over 1,000 if possible for a power supply. But I mean, my opinion on this, it may not mean much to you, but to me, what I'm looking at is the graph is not true. Because if they really wanted to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, they wouldn't use the DLSS 4 or the AI frame generator. You wouldn't. You would put the cards against the cards with real frames and see what happens. But once again, the marketing scheme. They want you to buy it. They want you to look at this graph and be like, holy shit. The 5090 is out of this world. The 5090 is blowing the 4090 out the waters. In fact, it's really not, because if you're looking at the Resident Evil 4, which is just ray tracing, okay? It's not fake frames, none of that shit. It's just ray tracing. If you're looking at the performance, it's not that much greater. The green versus the gray, it is not that much greater right here. Okay, it is not that much greater. So for a person that has a 4090 right now, currently working perfectly fine, smooth. Okay, I don't think I'm in a crazy rush to be getting a 5090. I want one. I'm probably going to put the 4090 as my streaming PC and then the 5090 as my gaming PC. I want one, but I'm not going to be paying the over crazy pricing, because once it comes out, you're not going to be able to get it. Because everyone else is going to buy it and resell it at a crazy, ridiculous price. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. I'm going to chill. I'm going to see what the numbers look like. Somebody's going to be doing a lot of bench work, stress work, temperature work. So I'm not going to be in a rush to get a 5090 right now. Probably going to be 6-7 months down the line. I may get one, but for the performance value that I'm getting, because I already have a 4090 and I'm pretty much content with my 4090. I'm getting over 300 frames in Call of Duty. Like, it's a beast. So I'm not going to be rushing to get a 5090, because if this graph was just apples to apples and just not fake frames being added to it, maybe I would be compelled to be like, you know what? This might be a big ass boost, and maybe I would get one. I don't see the point of getting one at the moment. I would wait it out. If you have a great card that's working properly, I would wait it out and see if the prices go down in months, many months or whatever. But that's my opinion. You know what I mean? Looking at this graph, it just is not too happy about it. So I wanted to show you guys the graph. I wanted to give my opinion on what's going on with Nvidia and the new cards that's coming out, or that's already out, and go from there. But if you have a 3080, a 3080 Ti, a 40 series card, I don't think you need to rush to get into a 50 series card, because it's not gonna be that great. With fake frames, it's not gonna be that great. The game is gonna look great, but it's not gonna perform any better, because the game is still playing at 60 frames or whatever frames you're getting is playing at that. Whatever's in between, whatever the fake frames is in between, is just making the game look good. That's it. I wanted to give my opinion. Let me know what you think in a comment. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know what you think. I may be wrong, but hey, this is where the conversation starts. I'll see you on the next video.